Hello everyone, my name is Michael Snyder and I'm the programmer for Pic2Mag, and I'm making a 7-minute video showing everybody how to download my app from the App Store. It's a free download, and how to draw some electrical charges and plot the isopotential lines of the electrical charges. So you want to go to the Apple App Store and search for Pic2Mag, which is P-I-C, the number 2, M-A-G, and you'll find it under free downloads. And click the install button. And what Pic2Mag can do is any set of electrical charges or any set of permanent magnets that you can draw, Pic2Mag can process and display both the magnitude and the direction of the electric fields or the magnetic fields. So after we download it and install it, then we'll open it. The mobile version of Pic2Mag has two main screens. The first screen that you see is the main screen, and later on we'll see the option screen. Okay, at the top of the main screen is the quality choice, and we want to leave that on draft quality most of the time unless you're sharing your presentation, sharing your work. The load button allows you to load images from previously created images. The draw button allows you to draw new images. The process button allows you to process the image that's in memory. The magnetic mode button sets the colors that the draw button uses. The electric mode button sets the colors that the draw button uses for electric. The test image button allows you to pick a bunch of different test images, and some of the later images take a long time to process, so I'd recommend only doing like the first 10. The help button pulls up different help slides. Every time you hit the button, you'll get a different slide. The bottom left arrow and the bottom right arrow sets what screen you're on. So if you hit the bottom left arrow, you'll be on the main screen. If you hit the bottom right arrow, you'll be on the option screen. Okay, now we're looking at the option screen. The first option is the distance to surface, or the distance to the charge. Most of the time you leave that at 1 millimeter. The number of ISO lines is the number of lines that show up on the plot when you're plotting isopotentials. Most of the time we would leave that at 80, but you can change it and replot it as needed. Line thickness is the thickness of the ISO lines. Normally we leave this at 2. Plot ISO lines is telling the app to replot the ISO lines, saying that, for example, you changed the number from 80 to 100. Then you would hit the plot ISO lines button again to see the new result. Plot ISO log is to take a log of all the data before we plot the isopotential lines. They're very similar. The left choice and the right choice are very similar. There's just processing it a little bit slightly different. Arrow size is the size of the lines that we use to show the vectors. Plot vectors will look through the data and plot little arrows for each vector showing the direction of the field. So isopotential lines show you magnitude, vectors or the plot vector shows you the direction. Plot extended is very similar to plot vectors, but it's using dots instead of lines. Show ISO and vectors takes the ISO plot and the vector plot and it puts them together, they overlays them. The file name is the file that you wish, the file name that you want to save your work with. And the save button saves your work, assuming that you have permissions on your phone. You hit after you do everything else, then you hit the save button to save your work. And let's press the electric button, and then we'll hit the draw button, and we'll draw a positive electric charge just by touching the screen anywhere we want to. And then we'll change the color, and we'll draw a negative electric charge, and then we'll hit save, and then we'll hit process. And right now it's processing. Now, Pic2Mag makes internal libraries, so if you process the same picture or very similar pictures, it gets quicker each time. The first time will take, in this instance, will be about a minute. If we ran this process over again, it would only take about 20 seconds. So we drew 2 electrical charges, and now we're processing them. And now we're done processing, and we can see the isopotential lines. And we're going to give our processing a name. We'll call it testing in this case. And we'll give it permission to save the image. And then we'll hit the save button. And that's basically how you would draw 2 electrical charges and process them and save your work.